Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Gaynor.
I'm Office Bloke Aidan.
Here we are, three of us, doing a bit of Cowboy Kent Rollins.
Yes.
Yeah, I love Cowboy Kent.
Yeah.
Gives me great ideas to have for food, and he also makes me very hungry when I'm watching his food shows. So
same.
And this is I don't know, tortillas, probably one of my favourite go-to foods.
Yeah.
I love Mexican food.
You love
tortillas.
Mexican, but is quesadilla is he quesadillas, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, quesadillas and tortillas.
But you're more of a burrito taco kind of guy.
I'll eat anything Mexican.
Oh, he likes quesadilla as his appetizer.
I have quesadillas as appetizers, yeah. You've got to. That's it. Before your burrito.
Let's see how Cowboy makes them.
Yeah, what
you know how
secret?
you can tell that a tortilla is made with love and it is homemade? It ain't round no more. I promise you.
What happened to that one?
It's Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New
Let's pop it
Hampshire.
on.
But folks, there is a secret ingredient into making these easy tortillas that's going to blow your mind. Stick around. We're even going to throw a quesadilla in there at the end.
Like poppadoms.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to a Mexican restaurant and you eat, always judge it by three things. Number one, is the parking lot full? Number two, do they know how to make rice and beans? The third thing, and the most important, are their tortillas homemade? And you always going to get a better taste when you make them from scratch. And Shan come up with this secret recipe.
The Mexican restaurant we go in, near us,
La Cantina.
La Casita, I think it's called. I don't know if it's if they make their own tortillas or not.
Or if they buy it from Tesco.
I've never thought about it.
I don't think they do because they are perfectly round.
I've never thought about it.
What, you just doubting their skill?
Yeah.
No, but they're all Mexican. They're all authentic Mexicans. They're from Mexico.
Yeah.
It's a family of I don't know how many's there, but I've seen at least four.
No.
I've seen at least mum, dad, and two kids, sort of thing. When I say kids, they're all adult kids.
Yeah.
But it's a family Mexican restaurant, and the Mexican food is spot on. But
Yeah,
I'm not
very
sure if they
good.
make their own. probably couldn't tell you.
No.
Recipe a long time ago. Do we want to tell them now,
No,
Shan?
it's a secret
It is
ingredient. They have to wait.
Yes, and folks, these are the best tortillas ever going to make. And as a bonus, I'm going to show you how I make my favorite quesadillas to go along with it. So let's just get right into it. All-purpose flour, 3 cups. To that, we need to add a little baking powder. Don't take much, about a teaspoonful. Little dab of salt. I like to go ahead and mix this right off the bat. All the dry is mixed together, so it is time to add. I think traditionally it would have been hog lard or maybe like Crisco, some kind of shortening like that. But the secret ingredient really is what? Shan come up with it herself, she did. Bacon grease. Now make sure this is chilled, not hot bacon grease. And we're gonna get it all in there because I don't want to leave none of it out. Folks, this is the difference maker in homemade tortillas, I will promise you. And just go to breaking that bacon grease down in there because we want it all mixed really well in here. Now when you fry a bunch of bacon at home and you want to save it, strain that stuff before you put it in the cup.
Is that all it is?
If you leave
Yeah,
a little bit of
the
them
fat.
bacon bits in there, these tortillas ain't going to mind. We have done this recipe when we was a little short on bacon grease. Used half Crisco, half bacon grease. I've also used manteca that you can buy in the store. But folks, you have to usually buy a big old tub of it that's about that tall. You can see that is pretty well incorporated. We still got a few chunks in there, but we're going to get that all bound together because what's going in it next is some hot water, and that's going to get all this blended really.
That is not healthy at all, though, is it?
Don't care as long as it tastes good.
Facts.
Right?
Not sure
There's loads
about
of stuff
that.
that's not
That's
healthy.
probably worse than lard.
well. You don't want it boiling hot, but I do prefer it hot. And we're going to use 1 cup. We won't be holding on to this metal cup too long. That is 1 right there. Thank you, Bertha. Then spoon, spatula, something just to get it started till we can get our hands back in it. That's going to go to melting that what's left of any bacon grease clumps and incorporate it into that flour really well to where we're going to get that great flavor out of it. You flour them hands just a little. You just keep kneading that dough around there a little. Make sure you pull up all that flour off the bottom of the pan. So you need to knead this about 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm gonna get it out of that bowl because we've got all the goodness of the flour out of there. I'm gonna stand over here because the wind's not blowing in my favor and I didn't want to get completely dusted. Put me a little coating on right there. Just knead her over, roll it up, keep kneading. That is what I call just right. There is no telling how many tons of dough I've made, whether it be pie dough or biscuits. Shan has made more tortilla dough than I have, but this feels really
If that's how easy it is to make the tortillas, then Mexican We Going definitely making their own.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
You'd assume so.
Yeah.
Good. I'm gonna let her put her hand on it since she is the expert of this. Put your little paw out there. Don't that feel good?
Oh, that feels good.
Yes, it does. So
And
this,
smell it.
Uh-huh.
That's what I love.
Ooh.
I love a tortilla smell.
it makes you think breakfast
And that's
is
it.
cooking.
Like,
Yeah.
guys, that's it.
It is so easy. We're gonna put this in a plastic bag. It needs to rest right there about 10 to 15 minutes. I don't want it to stick to this bag nowhere, Mage, so we're just gonna give it just a little coating. Put her in here, is that all right with you? You keep an eye on it for me? Do you like tortillas? I think you do. And folks, as a bonus, since we got them homemade tortillas, I'm gonna show you how to make my favorite quesadilla with 3 kinds of cheese on it. Well, that tortilla dough is setting. We're gonna take us 1 pound of 80/20 ground beef from the good folks at the Lazy T Ranch up there. Folks, I've eaten a lot of hamburger in my life.
I forgot that the Americans do it like 80-20. We do percent. We do
Oh,
like
yeah,
5%.
we do 5%, 10%, don't we? Yeah.
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 But this is probably the best hamburger meat I have ever eaten in my life. So we're just gonna chop that up good, get it to browning. And folks, you know, you make quesadillas, you hear of them all the time. Steak quesadillas, chicken quesadillas, rattlesnake quesadillas, possum's quesadillas. Everybody like a quesadilla. Well, you know, sometimes I like to watch my budget. So I didn't want no chicken. I wanted some ground beef, which is a little cheaper than steak fajitas. Well, we begin to brown a little, we have. So I got, I'd say 1 medium-sized white onion, diced or chopped, Shan, what is that? We always have this,
Finely chopped.
okay, we always have this big discussion we do about what it is. Now to that, I'm gonna go ahead and add us a little of our mesquite seasoning because it has a little ancho chili in it. We're gonna get them onions to browning up. We're getting closer all the time to making a quesadilla.
That there, the smell that's coming off that now, I can smell it because there's no better smell when you're browning meat and onions and obviously seasoning that goes in it, but you need to chunk a load of garlic in there.
Yeah, it needs a load of garlic.
It needs a bit of garlic in there. When I say a bit,
Loads.
Browning up pretty nicely we are. I'm gonna add some of our taco seasoning. I used this one time in a video and people said, why would you not just put the regular stuff in there? It's got all the regular stuff like cumin, oregano, what is that other? Let me see. Cumin, oregano. I can't read them. I ain't got my glasses on. What is it
Paprika.
I'm looking for? I don't know. We're gonna give it a pretty good sprinkling around here we are. Now this is one recipe too that you're making here that you can also test your seasoning after this simmers for a little bit.
Did you drain the grease?
No, the grease cooked down. On good 80/20 meat, when you cook it long enough and it's just right, you get rid of that grease. If it was really greasy on the bottom or you was swimming in this much, you know, I'd say you better spoon that stuff out of there. You're fitting to have a cholesterol problem, I think. A lot of recipes you say, they will say add some tomato paste. I'm just gonna use our what? Our good red hatch salsa right here, I am. Doesn't take much. I just want a little to give it a little flavor. A little flavor. Yeah, a flavor and some flavor. If you don't have this, use your favorite salsa of any kind. Use a little hot sauce. Now would it be a good time to put in these 2 garlic cloves right here close to the last. In the recipe, I said if you want it spicy, use both of them. If you want it just right, just use one. Am I gonna de-seed it, de-vein it? No, I'm not. I'm just gonna grate it in here with this cheese grater.
I never thought of
it's all
grating
gonna blend together,
chili.
and it's gonna give it a great flavor it is. Ain't it, Mage? I know it will. When you got all that in there, we need to just put this on a low simmer for about, I'd say 4 minutes. Let all them flavors incorporate, and then you taste it at that time when you get ready. Does it need a little more taco seasoning? Need another 14 jalapenos? You throw them in there. Meat sitting over there minding its own business. This is set about, I'd say nearly close to 15 minutes, so we're just gonna get her out there, and the smell that comes out of that sack, ma'am, I am telling you, it is so good. We're gonna put it as a little flyer. Go ahead and get it over here.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Now you can make these any size you want. So I'd say golf ball size, Shan, pretty close to right.
Are you making a big one?
Well, I'm gonna make it about that size right there. And when you're making tortillas, when you begin to roll them out, them edges can crack and come out all different kinds of shapes and sizes. So if you'll work that dough in your hand just a minute, make sure it's good and soft, flatten it just a little, roll them edges around there under it, it'll keep that from happening quite as bad if it does at all. Then we're just gonna put them down here, give them a little coat of flour both sides, get your favorite rolling pin, and just go to rolling.
Here's the test. Can you do it round?
I like to roll them over, get the other side a little bit. Can they be round or will they look like New Hampshire? I do not know. But
I don't even know what New Hampshire looks like.
well, I have made some that aren't round, I promise you. You know, you can get
Good
these
enough.
whatever
Yeah.
thickness you want them to be, but I prefer to go a little bit on the thinner side because it does have a little pinch of that baking powder in there, so you're going to get just a little bit of pop. So I would say that was pretty good for me,
Let me see
Shin.
that one. Let me see the roundness of it.
Pretty good for me.
Up. Let me see.
Pretty good for me.
Good.
Well,
I
square.
can get it
That'll
in
do.
here. And we'll go to making another.
This looks easy to make.
Yeah. Even you could do this.
Maybe.
I don't know about that.
Time consuming.
This is close to Rhode Island, I think, so we're going to try to maybe even that out just a tad. But it'll eat just the same, I promise you. You know how when you work on something sometime and you think, well, that ain't going to work, so then you come back with your paintbrush
Wow.
and you trim it up just a tad, you know, because, I
You
mean,
were doing so good there. for a
yeah,
minute.
I think that looks pretty good now.
When the ovens are burning like that with the wood underneath, do you think it adds a lot different sort of flavour to the food as well?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
Yeah.
Just I've never seen one like that before being used. Don't know with the logs like that.
Well, I'm guessing the smoky smell
Yeah,
gets
smoky.
into
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
You're doing this in the house, go ahead and get that burner on high. Set that cast iron skillet on there because, folks, you can turn this down a little bit later when things go to cooking, and that's what we're after. So you can spray it that first time. You usually don't have to. I'm not going to use a skillet because I don't want to have to clean one up. I'm just going to go right here on old Bertha. We'll get this first one out of here. It's got a little wrinkle in
Like
it,
an
but I think
auger,
it's going to
isn't
be
it?
all right. That one is New Hampshire,
That's Ohio, actually.
Ohio.
Like a heart.
So you can see it's beginning to swell up here just a little bit, make us some little freckles. So the
Like
main
making
thing you can do to
poppadoms.
hurt one of
Sure.
these is overcook it. So we're gonna go ahead, Bertha's pretty hot. You wanna leave these pliable, that's what we're after. If you get a really big bubble in there like this one right here, you can pat it down. This one is ready to come off there.
It's quick.
Because
then.
remember,
Yeah.
when we're making a quesadilla, we're going to cook them again here in a
Yeah, I
little
was
bit
gonna
too.
say you're gonna
It
recook 'em
don't
anyway.
take long to cook these when your iron is hot. So this one here is what I'd call ready to go. Now you can see that's still pliable. You get them too crispy, they won't bend. They ain't worth nothing that way.
I don't think you'd be able to make these with your delicate fingers.
This here was sort of an extra, and I wanted to make sure. They're so good. Puppies, hey, come here. Look. So I better get busy because
It's right there.
where'd you, oh, tortilla?
Right behind you.
No.
Well, no.
How about you, Cletus?
Nope.
Baby, get it.
Not
We got some
interested.
Monterey Jack, some mozzarella, and some cheddar. I'm gonna put them right
What
over
was
here
the
where I
first
can
one?
get to them
Monterey
handy.
Jack.
Monterey Jack.
Monterey Jack.
They do sell that over here.
Yeah.
I found some.
Oh, did you?
So I'm gonna slide that right there. Get my cheese over here. We're gonna put a little layer right here on the bottom of all three because I think quesadilla got the word meaning in it that it's got to have some cheese. So we're gonna have plenty of that. folks in Wisconsin are saying, got to have some cheese. We're going to add us a little meat to this because we want to make sure that everybody don't just bite in there and get cheese. We're getting some meat to go with it. Now, you could fold that over, but there would be nothing to bind those two together. So we need to have some more cheese, don't you think, Mage? And some of this kind of cheese. Now we're going to take our spatula and we're going to fold this one over. We're going to give it a mashing right here so we can turn this side over. But you can get this as brown and as crisp as you want it now because that tortilla was pliable when we started and we could fold it. I just like mine to where they got a little crispness to the outside. We'll let them cool. We're going to make the rest of them and I'm going to eat them.
I like mine a little bit browner than that.
Yeah, a little bit crispier.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe this is what I can make for dinner.
Yeah. There we go.
I mean, if I can do that, y'all can do that, I promise you. Most
I don't know.
easiest thing is to make homemade tortillas and with that bacon grease in there. And you can put anything for the filling in a quesadilla. But I want y'all to look. While I was finishing cooking, don't that look like teeth marks?
I had a bite.
People are always on me. How come Shan don't never get to eat? We have left evidence that Shan has been here. Folks, I'm going to tell you right now, got a little bite in it. That's the way I like it. If you don't want that, leave that jalapeno out of there or take the seeds and the stem out before you grate it. But star of the show, two things. That Lazy T hamburger meat, but really, it is Shan's homemade flour tortillas with bacon grease. Well, hope y'all enjoyed, because me and the pup sure did. Thank you, Jesus, for bringing that cloud in here and covering up that ball of fire. It was already 100 degrees, so I appreciate it, I do. But it is with great pride, honor, and privilege that I tip my hat to all the servicemen and all the women and all the veterans that have kept that old flag flying over camp. We commend you all. Rest of you, come on in here close. Get up there a little closer, a little bit closer. Come on, come. Big old bear hug. God bless you, each and every one, and I'll see you down the homemade tortilla quesadilla trail.
They look absolutely
Yeah,
delicious.
they do.
Yeah.
Fancy one of them now, don't you?
I do. It's the problem when I watched Cowboy Kent. He's all the food he does. He's like right up my street as
Yeah.
well. And I'm like, yeah, I'll have a bit of that.
Yeah.
You know, and it's especially when it's Mexican food like that as well. That's even puts me. But I'm like that minced beef guy. That's why I like Philly cheesesteaks
Yeah.
as well. It's that minced beef that I love. But that's all day, every day for that. But like you say, it might be a cholesterol issue.
Yeah. Aidan and
Well,
I
I
have
think-
just eaten, so we're not hungry,
I'm
are
not
we?
really that hungry now. We just did eat, to be fair, but it does look good, that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have a bit of that. But always good watching Cowboy Kent.
Yep.
It's I'm going to try and do my own cooking, aren't I?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find the right area to do it in, where I can set up properly.
Try the kitchen.
No, I don't know where it is in our house. Every time I go in, the only time I go in the kitchen is to get a beer. Getting throws me out. What are you doing in here? Out. Yeah.
Mine.
But no, I want an outside area. So and I can't have it in our.
Nice.
We can't put a naked flame on our
our
balcony.
terrace.
Yeah. So I have to find somewhere else. But I will do, and I'll get the barbecue set up, and we'll start doing things like this. I
Yeah.
think if you want to see it,
Yeah.
if you want to see how shit someone can be a cook. Anyway, always good watching Cowboy Kent. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you in the next one.
Bye.
Cheers.